we have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
So the public meeting to consider the application from Mr. William Shea to overrule a decision by the building inspector for the denial of a permit for a new outbuilding located at 49 Morgan Road. Relief is being sought pursuant to MGL 40A, Section 10, and Hubbardson zoning bylaws, Article 5, Section 1, Article 5, Section 5.1, table of dimensions. Typically, our process is we will allow you to present your case to us. Then at the conclusion of that, the board can ask any questions that they may have. At the conclusion of that, any public questions can be fielded at the same time. Then we'll close the public portion of this meeting. Then we have the opportunity to either vote on it tonight or delay it. And it's our hope to vote on it tonight. This meeting is also being taped, videotaped, correct, and recorded. Do you have something to say about that? Do you just want me to announce that?
Just that the Zoning Board of Appeals meetings are broadcast live and digitally recorded. This meeting is being held both in person and virtually through Zoom pursuant of Section 20, Acts of 2021, allowing public meetings to be conducted remotely so that board and committee members, as well as members of the public, can participate remotely. We do not have anybody tonight because all board members are here. And that's about it. And then I usually give you guys an update on the administrative side.
Mm-hmm.
He has given me a complete application. He has paid all of his dues. The meeting was posted, and the denial letter from the building inspector, Monday was a little crazy for him. He had people lined up at his doors. I thought he was selling ice cream out of the basement of the library. But I did speak with him, and he did talk to me about the denial, why he denied it. And that was because he saw the dimensions, and it's a denial due to the closeness to the property line.
Did you also send the abutters a letter?
Mm-hmm. And we had the
Actually, update.
update. You got the last one came today. So we were just waiting on one more, but all the rest had come back and signed their life away. And we were just waiting on one more, and I told him to bring the green postcards to the meeting to show that they were sent.
Yeah,
Perfect.
6 for 6 as of today.
6 of 6 as of today, and as you can see, none chose to attend. But they were notified, so.
All right, thank you. We also typically introduce ourselves. I know we all have individually. I'm Scott Jansen, the
Yeah.
chair of the zoning board.
Bill Holmes.
Mark Kresge.
Albert Afonso.
So, Mr. Shea, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you very much for coming and indulging us. My wife would have been sitting right next to me, but she's a little bit under the weather. She's been in and out of the hospital the last 2 weeks a couple of times. We've actually utilized the services of our EMSs for the first time in 51 years, and they answered the call and got her into St. V's, and she has some cardiac issues and going in for a procedure on Monday called an ablation, hopefully to correct the AFib and A-flutter and erratic heartbeat. But she's been my support for 58 years. We've been in town 51 years and thoroughly enjoyed being in this town and watching it grow. The reason for my asking for the variance is because initially my hope was to have the new building, and I have supplied you with a certified plot plan, and Tricia's been very helpful in terms of helping me along the way, making sure I've been following all the rules and regulations. Here is where we live. we were hoping we'd be able to get it closer to make it easier for her. We're both in our 80th year, and one of the primary reasons for putting up this building is for storage. And it'll be storage to help her organize things, and then storage for the business that I run. You may or may not know, I run a World War II website. I buy and sell World War II memorabilia. I consult for auction houses and museums. And you probably are aware that I also have a pretty substantial collection of cars and props. And we periodically will hold tours and allow people to come and see them. And we raise money for the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's research. So the building will, for the most part, be to store some of my cars, store my inventory for my business, and to provide my bride with a much-needed series of closets for organizing her stuff. So a bit of a hardship to move it where we did, but I did want to follow the book according to Hoyle. So way back when, I had Rick Green come up from the Conservation Commission, and we walked the property and looked at it, and of course we wanted to take into consideration any wetlands. And so he recommended that I hire an engineer, which I did. Hired an engineer, he came out, he surveyed the land, put together a plan, and this is the optimum location, taking into consideration the fact that there'll still be some distance to walk. And so that's my primary reason for asking for the variance. I'm also asking it because the construction has been delayed by several months, because once again, I wanted to make sure the ducks were in line. And so I've hired the contractor. I've actually purchased some of the lumber and the structures in the process of going up. If you people know me at all, you know that I would not put up anything but something that is substantial and would fit in with the aesthetics of our 1787 farm. And so along the way, I was thinking, and so if you can visualize what a tobacco farm or barn looks like in Connecticut, that's sort of what I want to have. So that's a sketch of what the building will look like, and I definitely want it to be in conjunction with the other barns that I have, and I believe that this is will aesthetically fit in with the property, and like I say, be a complement to what we already have. So as I say, I beg your indulgence to take that into consideration, because I'd like very much to get going on it. You know, the summer season is mostly gone. My contractor, I had a general contractor, his name is Christoph Chadier. He's top notch. He built a garage for my son in Royalston Dynamite, and so I hired him to be in charge of the general contracting. So he had everybody lined up, and time has gone by, but he's assured me that he believes that should I get the variance which I need, that we can get going fairly soon, and that he hopes that he'd have it done before the snow flies. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it, and I hope that you understand the reason why I'm seeking the variance.
So typically we give variances for certain hardships. Topography of the land, you mentioned the wetlands is one of them. Is it, you don't show where the wetlands are on your drawing there?
But the engineer has in fact mapped out the place so that it would have enough space for the wetlands. We have all of the, what is it, the hay, but ready to go as soon as we get the okay. So we're plenty of distance from.
Where are the wetlands?
Where are they?
Yeah.
They would be back in the woods.
Because we need that to.
Can you show us on your?
Yep.
'Cause I know over your neighbor's property, that land is very wet right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
Right.
and it would start someplace in this area here,
Mhm.
so we've got a full 50 feet anyway.
Yep.
From the,
And is it
Yeah, I know where it
up,
is.
up to the north of that, is it that wetland too?
that would be up in this direction?
Yep, but on
The
your,
answer-
on your side?
The answer is yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, cause you can't, you wouldn't be able to put the barn in the wetland, so
That's correct.
that type of information is helpful to us to.
And that, this is the ideal situation, based on, I mean, I happen to have 7 acres, but
Yep.
still, the hardship would be related to the distance factor,
Mhm.
our age factor, the delay we're counting, but, you know, where Rick literally came out and looked and said, you know, this is where it is. Now, I know that Tricia put together items for you, including a statement from my neighbor, Ron Berkey, and Ron Burton, and Ron was.
I know they call them
Yeah, I know, I don't know Ron Berkey, that's a problem, yeah. And you all know he's a good guy.
Yeah.
And literally, when I asked him the first time, you know what he said? Put it wherever you want, because that area is all wooded.
Yeah.
And if you're familiar with his setup,
Mhm.
there's like 150 feet of wood, and then he has the biggest field conceivable, which he doesn't use. I
Mhm.
mean,
Right.
you know,
Empty.
we've been here long enough, I remember his dad, I remember that being built. I remember when the kids used to go out to the end, down High Bridge,
Right
Old
around.
Westminster, up Brigham, all the way back
They
down.
lived in the house too.
That's
Remember
right,
that? Yeah.
absolutely, yeah, so we've taken
Now,
that into consideration.
Questions?
My biggest question is I'd like to, tonight, just with time, and I understand how professional you are, and I've known you since you moved to town, so I do trust you, but, I think we need the wetlands
I got it.
information on the paperwork.
I got it.
With that, then we
Hold
can
on.
say we're gonna grant this for hardship reasons, and with the wetlands and the age factor with the distance and all of that, I'd be comfortable with that, but without the wetlands, I think it's important we put that in here.
To follow up on that notion, and specifically with the area to the north, is the problem, if you were to rotate the footprint, so it was parallel with the property line,
Like so?
what,
No, he's talking about turning the building.
Turning
with
the
the
barn.
the building,
Oh, okay, so if I were to turn the building this way,
yeah, twist it so it's parallel
Yeah.
to the property line,
Yep.
which would give you the necessary side setback. Are you saying that that configuration would put you too close to a wetland area
it
to
would
the north?
certainly come into consideration. And because what we have over here is literally a stone wall, and after that, there's some wooded area, but there is some wetlands back there too. So I'd be kind of in the same boat.
Does the building have to go in that configuration to set up with the rest of the buildings? Is that what?
That is part of the aesthetic, that's absolutely correct. You notice how it is set up, that it is, the barn is here. I don't wanna put it any closer to the barn,
What's
because,
the distance would it be between the two?
well, I would say that's 75 feet, you know, and coming down the hill,
Yeah.
aesthetically, once again, it looks better, so.
Well, I think it would give you better access to it too.
And better access, absolutely. Mhm.
70.
70, how about that,
Close.
huh? Uh-huh. Yeah, I have walked it many, many, many times, yeah.
Coffee machine going.
Uh-oh.
Any questions, Al?
Yeah, because I'm not seeing where this fits in. 'Cause I'm seeing
The
other
wetlands are right here.
venues
Here is
that
the barns are right
would
here, so the wetlands are all right in here, this is your.
avoid
Okay.
the,
All right.
I'm so sorry, I
Uh,
don't have access to that printer. This is the wetlands here,
Uh,
here.
the variance.
So where he's proposing to put it is with
couldn't you put it up against the existing barn? See where that little arm you've got coming off the barn? The little arm, I'm gonna call it, correct,
Mhm.
thank you. Why couldn't you put it there?
Because the back door has a driveway that goes out 30 to 40 feet so that we can put vehicles in and out of the barn.
No.
And how about
This is the
to
area.
the left of the barn?
You're talking about over here?
No,
Over here?
no,
Over
left,
here?
no, left.
To the left of the barn? Meaning out here?
Hold on, excuse me.
Go ahead, no, go ahead, I just wanted to end this too.
Over here.
Oh, well,
So if you had,
oh, there's absolutely no that would fit. Because the house is here, there's a garage here, and there's no way it would fit.
so there's an existing home here?
Yeah, that's 49, that's the
If
farmhouse.
you look at the picture, Al,
Yeah.
That I just gave you?
Yeah.
Oh, she just gave.
Oh, you took it.
oh, why didn't you get the color one?
Well, that's because he probably has a color printer at home, and I don't have the access to the color printer.
Here, Al.
No, it's okay.
Al, I know what it looks like, I've been there before.
I have two.
Oh, all right.
Thank you.
Sneaky, sneaky. Got color
Where-
copies. What did you tell me?
You didn't answer.
And would it be possible to adding on to the back side of the barn, so you would walk through into that area?
I would not even put it up to do it that way, because aesthetically, it would not be the way I'd want it.
And where's the buffer zone for the wetlands?
It's hard to see on there, but it's that.
Right. There's not much area, it's all this stuff here.
Yeah, that's all wetlands. yeah.
Right. The only other place you could go would be where the grass is here.
Yeah. And then it would be just a real burden to get there, especially in the winter.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, the issue with putting it in the corner of the field is that puts it too close to the existing barn. Is that the issue?
If it went in the corner of the field,
Yeah.
right by the stone wall, then it would be too close to wetlands, because you go over the wall in that wooded area, then there is, wetland to take into consideration. And I didn't even consider moving it up in that direction. Once again, trying to facilitate it for my wife to be able to conveniently get over to it, and be able to use it the way that we wanna use it.
So I mean, it seems like the corner of the field would be even closer to your house and would be further from the wetland.
So you're talking about up here?
No, up
Can-
here.
Because once again, there is a driveway that comes down here that would make it.
Too close to the barn.
Too close to the barn, yeah.
Okay, and that was my question.
I'm not looking to make an industrial complex out of it. I want it to remain as rural as possible and fit in with the aesthetics of our town. And the only abutter it affected was Ron Burton. And if it will add to the long-term effect, my daughter lives in the house now. She will live there for a very, very long time. And as, with our will and trust being set up, that Kellyanne will be there, for what I hope to be the next 50 years, so.
If the building inspector were here, then I would ask him, and it's unfair for any of us to assume what he would say. I understand the nature of my question. If they were to build an overhang from the existing barn, connecting to that building, and push it closer to the barn, would that, at that point, then be considered one building? So that takes, instead of putting it up against the stone wall, it brings it closer to her, for her, ability to get to the building, which he wants. And yet the overhang would suffice to create one building. See what I'm saying?
So an overhang between the two buildings.
Correct, correct. So he has, so this, let's say we've got the same angles. So we've got this going like that approximately, coming here with an overhang, right here.
Yeah, I'm not sure we can.
Well,
I don't think it would solve the.
You wouldn't be able to
problem.
run traffic through there,
Yeah.
right?
You wouldn't be able to get any big trucks on that.
No. Mhm.
And then, still, if it wasn't attached to it, and
Hold- As soon as we're done asking questions, we'll open it
Sure.
up for public. All right, other questions? Mark?
Um, So if you, I mean, again, to this notion of it, in your elevation,
Get my maps.
the door was gonna be on the short side. Yes,
The main door is gonna be there.
right,
And we're still considering where to put the access door, and then taking into consideration my wife, either here or here. That would be the side door.
yeah,
But the main door would be right in front here.
yeah,
So that, moving it any closer would make it almost impossible to get vehicles in and out of there.
yeah,
And why would I wanna crowd it? I want it to be set up as it would be for a country landscape, so.
yeah. But
I've
once-
thought through it long and hard.
Yeah, so, but, yeah, so once again, just to make sure, if you pivot on that boulder point, the door isn't exactly the same location.
That would be correct, yeah.
It gives you the side setback, but there's something to the north that's preventing you from building out in that direction?
Is that where the wetlands are?
They would come into play,
Yep.
and I did not investigate that possibility.
All set, Mark?
Yep.
Al?
Yes.
And of course, Ron Burton has been up, looked at it, the proposal, and said, I'm cool with it. So there'd never be an issue with the abutter now or for a very, very long time. And you realize that's wetlands and forest, that he has no intention of ever doing anything up in that area. And then he has the fields, which, he takes care of, but nothing happens there either. So it isn't infringing or affecting him at all.
I have one final question before we open up to the public. How much of a variance are you looking for? So from the, say, the overhang of the proposed barn to the property line?
5 feet is 5 feet, 1 inch is what's there,
So you're looking for
25 feet.
25 feet,
That's correct.
26, well,
Mhm.
we wanna err, if we're gonna have an error, we wanna be cautious with it, so we wouldn't wanna say 25 feet, we probably wanna say 27 feet or so, cause if there's an overhang, you don't want to get into a problem with a bank or any type of,
I can assure you that will
issues.
not be an issue.
Yeah.
Well, just, we've had things come to the board years ago where people have done variances and they wrote them up and got them attached to the property where they had a 25-foot variance.
Yeah.
But, so the side of the barn was perfect on that, but the overhang on the roof was
okay.
over that, so they made him take the building down and move it.
Oh, gosh.
So,
Yeah.
and that's why we say
Yeah.
that,
Yeah,
just to
I
make
understand.
it safe for everybody.
Okay, Mike,
Big guy.
had
Sure.
public.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mike Stahl, 5 Lombard Road. I didn't understand quite what the building inspector's problem was, but now I think I know it's from the property line, from some part of the building, either being the foundation or the overhang. Is it, what is the 5
That
foot?
corner, correct?
Yeah, it's this corner here.
But is that
would
an
be-
overhang corner, or is
That
that?
would be including the overhang, yeah.
Including the overhang?
Yeah.
Okay.
Including the
But if you say the
foundation.
27 feet, then you,
Right, just
More
the,
than-
yeah, so it's, Mike, it's, we need a 30-foot setback,
Sure.
so that's why
Mhm.
we're,
Okay, I just wanted to understand that. The other thing is I just confirmed what Mr. Shea said about along that property line, there's actually a drainage. It shows a brook there that goes from here, and then there's wetlands there, so.
right,
yeah. There's a lot of
I just
wetlands.
confirmed that for my own benefit.
Wow.
Because I have not walked that property, but this is from the Massachusetts Interactive Property Map. So it has basically the assessor's information in it. And then the last question I have is, have we, the town, approved similar variances in the past? Because I believe that I've been at a meeting where we've approved similar variances fairly recently even, sometime in the last 2 years. Thank you, Mr.
We
Chair.
have approved some of
yes,
the past, yes.
yeah, we have. This is this is a common one that we,
Okay.
But we also try to account every case differently.
Sure.
You know, everything that comes into it, because we don't wanna set a standard, letting everybody do everything and violating all the rules too. So, we take into account the hardship, the wetlands, the setback, and the fact this is off the road in the back of the property. It's not right on the main drag where it's gonna affect everybody, and we don't have a lot of people here that are not, they're saying, yeah, they don't want it. So, those are the things we look at, some of the things.
and literally, if I may,
yes.
okay, David Como, who is my butter and neighbor, of course, they were the Comos owned the farm until 2015, when we bought it from the family. David's parents gave him 2 acres of land. The day after we did the deal on the farm, David, who grew up on the farm and he's a really good kid and a hard worker, came down to me and he had a new plot plan, because he was asking his parents if they'd give him more land, but they wouldn't. So he wanted to purchase an acre of land from me. And so I let him do all his talking, and I said, it's an area that I don't need, and it was square off his property. So I said to him, I'll sell it to you. And he said, how much? I said, how about $1? So I sold it to him for $1.
Good for you.
And I bring that up only because David sought out a variance to the back of his property, and it was granted.
No, I
So,
remember.
and remember that, yeah.
Yep.
You've been around a long time, Billy.
Too long.
Yeah.
That's my wife.
So, yeah. So, it is not unprecedented. In same, not a identical situation, but a neighbor, so.
So just to clarify, in order to grant a variance, we would not need to find a specific hardship. And in this case, the hardship would be,
The wetlands.
The wetlands.
I would say the wetlands, and also his argument for, due to their age and how close they would like to have to their access. For their access.
I think the key one for us is the topography of that property.
I'd like to live in that manner.
That's a good one. I'm gonna write that one down. Topography of the property. I like that.
If there are no further questions, we typically close the public portion of the meeting.
I make a motion, we close the public meeting.
Okay, do I have a second?
second,
All in favor?
Aye.
So the public portion of the meeting is closed. I'll take a motion to open the the regular board meeting.
I'll make the motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
I make a motion, we grant the variance as requested, and you said 27 feet.
27 feet. Discussion? Questions on the motion?
The,
For the side setback.
so, yeah.
We want-
So
yeah,
the
we need to
side,
phrase it the
so the
right way.
side setback will be 3 feet,
Correct.
not 27. Yes.
Correct, yes, I mean, from the building it'll be 5.1 feet, but just in case they pour the foundation a little bit off or something.
Yeah, buffer zone.
Be conservative.
Yep.
So what's the official? What are we gonna say on the variance? that we're
The
gonna-
variance would say that the zoning board of appeals has granted a variance to Mr. William Shea, located at such and such property, blah, 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 for a variance for the setback of, so you're saying the building is going to be 5 feet from the property line? Or
You would say
27
three.
feet from the property line?
3.
3.
Okay, it would be that it would be 3, so that gives us a little wiggle room, is that what we?
Side setback of 3 feet.
A side setback of 3 feet. Motion to grant setback.
Make sure we word it properly.
I'll have to re-listen to this probably like 6
Okay.
times while I'm typing, so.
Okay. So we have a motion on the floor, is there a second?
Second.
Any other questions or discussion? In this case, we need all 4 of us to vote affirmative for this to pass. So that's, just wanna be careful on that, so all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye? Okay, motion passes.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Now, there's another administrative issue that we wanna make sure you understand. The motion will be, as soon as Tricia types it up and
Tonight.
submits it to the town clerk, it will be posted, and there's 21?
It's 20 days.
20 days, not 21, 20, this
20
was
days.
20.
20
5,
days
7.
where it has to be posted for any of the abutters to object. Then after 20 days, you can take the decision down to the Worcester County House of Deeds and file that, and you need to have that filed.
So I'll get a decision from you in writing?
Yes.
Yes, you will get a decision from me, you'll get a copy of the letter, I will send that, I have your abutters list still, I will send it to your abutters.
Yeah, okay.
And then I will, that's when that 20-day, when I file it with Mel tomorrow, that's when that 20-day shop clock starts. I'll send it out tomorrow as well. They'll get the decision letter. If they can appeal, they'll come to the town clerk's office and appeal. I'll obviously keep you up.
I don't have to send out anything else to the abutters?
No,
Okay.
just the decision
It'll be
letter,
posted?
and it'll be posted, and then, 20 days, and then you can take it down to the Worcester County Deeds office. And they will give you a book and page number that it's been attached to your property. I'll take a copy for my files, so you can just scan it and email it or bring it by and I'll photocopy it and then.
I know where you live.
Yep, and you know where I live, so, you know, really
We're
first
being
time.
recorded, folks.
And then it'll go from there.
Okay. Certainly appreciate it. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step.
Yep.
I'd like to think I've taken a step forward this evening, so I certainly appreciate it.
Well, if it works out for you before the winter changes.
Yeah, likewise, yeah. I'll notify my general contractor and he'll get things lined up, so. All right?
Okay, thank you.
Very nice to see
Okay.
you.
All right. Pleasure, guys.
Have a good night.
Mike, thanks for stopping by.
I stopped by many of the meetings.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm telling you,
yeah.
I see him more than I see my own family.
Why ain't you a member?
Cultural
I
council.
think there's an item on the agenda.
Yep, there is an item on the agenda.
I read the agendas, all of the agenda.
All right, all right.
I'll follow you
Tricia, thanks for your help.
No problem.
Right.
Night, everybody.
Good night, Bill.
Good night. You need to keep me to finish this.
This is 5 minutes.
Right.
Do
My
you
daughter's
guys-
in the hospital, I gotta go.
Anytime I can help.
She got kicked by a horse yesterday.
And you can help me with the door.
Up here.
Over here. Yeah. I told her not to do it, but, no, she walked by the horse, it got a good, broke her rib and, injured her her kidney.
But she got it in the back.
Yeah, she got good.
Any other matters before the board?
Current vacancies. Tell your friends,
Yes.
tell your neighbors.
I don't have any friends.
I'm your friend.
No, you're not. You're an acquaintance, no.
Current vacancies, tell your friends, tell your neighbors. We have a vacancy. It would be nice to have 5 members, that way if one of you can't make it, we can still have a 4-board vote.
We need an alternate too.
And an alternate
So we
too.
need 2.
Well, I need a full setting of 5 and then we can talk about
Yes.
alternates.
Yep, yeah, absolutely.
So before you depart your grandiose position,
I'm not departing.
before you transfer from this position, how's that? That be better for you?
Before she becomes a supervisor.
Have we got any, yeah, really, exactly, thank you. Have we got any other things pending?
We have one that may come before us, may not. It's up to their decision what they would like to do. An A&R was denied for the Country Hen by the planning board. They are going to appeal for a variance due to the denial by the planning board. And that
I haven't been to the meetings.
We don't do variances. That's a building inspector.
I think that's something new that it's in the regs now.
You think so?
I haven't heard hide no hair from them, so I will keep you updated as soon as I get it. You guys will get all the information, but that was brought forth to me after the planning board meeting when I followed up with them, that they were thinking about applying for a variance for the zoning board of appeals because their A&R was denied.
What were they trying to do?
They were trying to parcel off a couple of sections of the, you know, the beautiful little house that's on the Country Hen property?
You know, they talked about this like 2 years ago, the problem with the property
They've done it
lines
again,
are-
and it's
couldn't get
just,
approved.
it couldn't get approved because of, frontage and non-conforming lots. We're not in the habit of.
The way the property lines go, the original house that they wanna sell and the existing, the big house, and I don't remember all the incidentals, but it was the setbacks and the property lines, you couldn't do it.
They wanna annex that cute little
The
house.
little house right next to.
For the woman that lives there, they wanna annex that property for her and kinda put it in like a trust or whatever.
I don't know
to
how you could do
keep
that,
keep her in her home.
What, did they buy the last one? The old couple that used to live in the old house, where the wrought iron fencing around the pond is.
I think it's the house
They moved
next-
out of there and they moved into 2 houses down.
Yeah, it's that couple.
They bought that house?
I don't know, I think that
There's
the
a
Country
lo-
Hen owned it, and they're,
The big house,
No, they
where
own,
Tree lived, that's old leather.
you have the Dixon's house, and then in the house with the wrought iron
Yep,
fencing around the
yep.
pond.
Mhm.
Yep,
And then you got the little house right across from the church.
right.
yeah,
That's the properties you're talking about, then they have the access driveway going down
to the 3 big,
to the 3 barns. They wanted to section off, that property's not big enough for that.
no, it's not, it's a postage
You
stamp.
can't make it a non-conforming lot on an A&R. They won't allow it. So the only way they could do it would maybe, and the property behind it is Mass Wildlife. So they won't let them, that's,
Right.
now that I'm thinking about it, that's what happened. They tried to, I don't know how you could get around that. Cause it's a non-conforming lot, you can't make an A&R to keep it a non-conforming. So,
No matter where you carve that land up, it's not gonna work.
there might be a way around it, but I don't know about it, well, the time I've been doing this, but land swap and all that, but you can't, it's too locked in.
Yeah,
Cause you can't give the access, the frontage from the road that goes back to the, yes, you could, you know how you do it? You take a strip along the front, we've done this before in the past, that's how I know it. Take a strip along the front for the frontage you need, add it to theirs, give you your 200 feet of frontage, and you give a legal right of way to that's what we did in the past to make that work.
Well,
Food
I
for
haven't
thought.
heard hide
Food for
nor
thought.
hair from them, so if it comes up, you guys will be the first to know.
But if we can, I gotta get out of here.
Okay.
That's fine.
Have a motion to close the meeting.
Second.
I'll make that motion.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you everyone
Thank
for
you,
coming
everybody.
tonight. Good luck.